If you stay with me until the end of this video, you will identify the exact inner pattern that has been silently blocking your money, opportunities, peace, and confidence, and you'll learn how to deactivate it today. This is not motivation. This is not theory. This is a deep energetic and mental shift that allows life to finally respond to you differently. This video is about the hidden habit that keeps people stuck, unconscious excuses disguised as protection. Not excuses you say out loud, but the subtle ones that live in your thoughts, emotions, and energy. Here, we'll expose how these patterns create stagnation, self-sabotage, and delay, and how taking true inner responsibility instantly returns your personal power. By watching this video, you'll gain clarity about why things haven't been flowing, even when you've done the work. You'll understand how to stop repeating the same cycles, how to shift from force to alignment, and how to activate the state of receiving, emotionally, energetically, and practically. This is the foundation for lasting change, not temporary highs. Have you ever felt like you're trying, but something invisible keeps pulling you back? Do you feel tired of blaming circumstances, people, or timing, yet unsure of what to change inside? Are you sensing that you're meant for more, but don't know why it hasn't arrived yet? If any of this feels familiar, you're exactly where you need to be. In this video, I'll guide you through awareness, reprogramming, and a short experiential exercise that helps break this pattern at the root. Stay until the end because what you'll understand and practice can shift how you think, feel, and respond to life starting today. This is where excuses end and power begins. Topic 1. The invisible root. How unconscious excuses block your life. Most people believe excuses are something you say. In reality, excuses are something you live. They don't show up as obvious phrases like, "I can't," or "it's not possible for me." They show up as energetic delays, emotional avoidance, and mental loops that feel logical, justified, even mature, but quietly keep you exactly where you are. An unconscious excuse is any inner mechanism that protects you from discomfort by postponing your power. And here is the uncomfortable truth. Your life does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you are consistently embodying. If opportunities keep missing you, if money flows in and out without stability, if relationships repeat the same emotional pattern, it's not because the universe is testing you. It's because a hidden internal contract is still active. Excuses as emotional protection. Unconscious excuses are not laziness. They are emotional survival strategies. At some point in your life, avoiding responsibility felt safer than risking disappointment, rejection, or loss. Your nervous system learned that waiting, overthinking, being cautious, or blaming circumstances reduced pain, and it stored that response as normal. So now, every time expansion approaches, your system subtly activates. Hesitation instead of movement analysis, instead of decision preparation, instead of action self-doubt, instead of self-trust. This is why so many people feel busy but not fulfilled, active but not progressing, aware but not free. The energy of delay. From an energetic perspective, excuses create resistance, not because you are negative, but because your energy sends mixed signals. You say, "I want more," but your body says, "More is unsafe." You say, "I'm ready," but your nervous system says, "Not yet." The universe does not respond to words. It responds to coherence. This incoherence is what blocks manifestation, not lack of effort or belief. And the longer it stays unconscious, the more life mirrors stagnation back to you, as delays, obstacles, and repeated lessons. Why motivation is not the solution. This is why motivation doesn't work long-term. Motivation pushes from the surface. But excuses live in the subconscious. You don't need more affirmations, vision boards, or forcing positivity. You need clarity, responsibility, and energetic alignment. Responsibility, in this context, does not mean blame. It means reclaiming authorship over your internal world. And this is where real power begins. The turning point. The moment you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What in me is still negotiating with fear?" everything changes. Because when excuses dissolve, energy reorganizes. Decisions become cleaner. Boundaries become clearer. Opportunities respond faster. Not because life became easier, but because you stopped fragmenting your power. And if this feels confronting, that's a good sign. It means you're touching the real root, not the symptom. Backhand index pointing right. Before we move forward, I want you to hold this question gently in your awareness. Where in my life am I still postponing my power under the name of protection? We'll work directly with this in the next part. What makes this pattern so powerful and so dangerous is that it feels reasonable. It sounds like responsibility, patience, or even spiritual maturity. But in truth, it is fear wearing a sophisticated mask. Fear of being seen, fear of failing publicly, fear of receiving more than you know how to hold. And as long as fear is allowed to negotiate your decisions, your reality will keep reflecting hesitation instead of expansion. This is why some people seem to manifest effortlessly, while others stay stuck despite knowing all the concepts. The difference is not knowledge, it's energetic consent. Life responds the moment you stop negotiating with your own limits. When excuses dissolve, your energy becomes clean, direct, and readable. That's when doors open without force, timing accelerates, and synchronicities replace struggle. And this is the deeper promise of this video. Not to push you into action, but to remove what's secretly pulling you back. As we move forward, you'll begin to feel something shift. Not in your thoughts, but in your body, your decisions, and your emotional posture toward life. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to understand is not just why things haven't moved yet, but how to finally allow them to. Topic 2. Inner responsibility is not guilt, it's power. One of the biggest misunderstandings in personal growth and spirituality is confusing inner responsibility with self-blame. And this confusion alone keeps millions of people trapped in cycles of shame, stagnation, and emotional exhaustion. So let's be very clear from the start. Responsibility is not about saying, "This is my fault." Responsibility is about saying, "This is my power." Guilt collapses energy. Responsibility restores it. When people hear, "You create your reality," many feel attacked, judged, or overwhelmed. They think it means they cause their pain, their trauma, or their struggles, and that interpretation shuts them down emotionally. But conscious responsibility is not about the past. It is about choice in the present. It is the moment you stop leaking energy into blame of yourself, others, or circumstances, and start directing it with intention. Why blame keeps you powerless? Blame, even when turned inward, keeps you stuck in reaction mode. It anchors your identity to what went wrong instead of what can be changed. And energetically, blame sends one clear signal: I am smaller than what happened to me. Responsibility sends a very different signal: I am bigger than what I experienced. This shift alone changes how life responds to you. Because when you stop fighting the past and start owning your inner position, your nervous system relaxes. Your mind becomes clearer. Your decisions stop coming from fear and start coming from alignment. This is why people who embody responsibility feel grounded, calm, and decisive, even in uncertainty. They are not trying to control life. They are regulating themselves. Responsibility as energetic leadership. Inner responsibility is energetic leadership over your inner world. It means choosing your response instead of reacting, observing patterns instead of identifying with them, acting from clarity instead of emotional urgency. When you take responsibility, you stop outsourcing your power to timing, luck, or approval. You stop waiting for permission to move, receive, or expand. And life feels this immediately, because energy always precedes results. This is the moment when manifestation stops being something you try to do and becomes something you allow. The freedom hidden inside responsibility. Here's the paradox most people miss. Responsibility is deeply liberating. Because when you accept that your inner state matters, you also accept that you can change it. You are no longer trapped by your story, your past, or your conditioning. You are working with them consciously. This is why people who truly step into responsibility often experience a sudden sense of relief. Less mental noise, less emotional chaos, more presence, more trust in themselves. And from that state, life reorganizes naturally. A question that changes everything. Let me ask you something, and feel this, don't just think about it. Where in your life have you been confusing guilt with responsibility? Where have you been punishing yourself instead of empowering yourself? Because the moment you separate these two, something unlocks. You stop collapsing inward. You stop shrinking. You start standing. And this is essential for what comes next, because now we're going to look at the specific inner pattern that blocks money, love, and expansion, even in people who are conscious, intelligent, and spiritually aware. This is why inner responsibility is so confronting, because it removes the comfort of waiting. When you fully understand that your internal position shapes your external reality, you can no longer hide behind timing, circumstances, or other people's readiness. But instead of pressure, what emerges is relief. Relief because you finally know where to act, and that place is within your control. As this understanding settles, many people notice an immediate shift. Less inner noise, fewer emotional swings, and a stronger sense of self-trust. Decisions stop feeling heavy. You no longer ask, "What if I'm wrong?" You ask, "What aligns with who I am becoming?" This is the state where confidence is not forced, but felt. And from this state, money, relationships, and opportunities respond faster because your energy is no longer fragmented. Stay with this video, because the next part reveals the exact pattern that quietly overrides responsibility and brings old limitations back, even after moments of clarity. Once you can recognize this pattern in real time, you stop repeating cycles and start creating momentum. And that is where real, lasting change begins. Topic 3. The pattern that blocks money, love, and expansion. There is one pattern that overrides effort, awareness, and even spiritual practice, and most people don't realize they're living inside it. This pattern is not negative thinking. It's not lack of worth. It's incongruence between desire and self-permission. You may consciously want more money, deeper love, freedom, visibility, or peace. But unconsciously, you may not feel safe holding it. And whatever you don't feel safe receiving, you will unconsciously push away. This is why so many people experience cycles instead of growth. Money comes and goes, relationships start strong then collapse, motivation rises then disappears. The external form changes, but the internal ceiling stays the same. The receiving ceiling. Every person lives under an invisible receiving limit. A level of success, love, and ease that feels familiar and tolerable to their nervous system. Above that level, the system activates fear. Fear of responsibility, fear of being judged, fear of losing connection with others, fear of outgrowing old identities. So instead of moving forward consciously, the subconscious creates self-sabotage that feels accidental. Missed opportunities, wrong timing, emotional overwhelm, sudden loss of interest, procrastination masked as intuition. This is not because you're broken. It's because your system is protecting its current identity. Why this pattern affects money first. Money is one of the fastest mirrors of this pattern because money amplifies who you already are. More money means more visibility, more decision-making, more responsibility, more separation from old dynamics. If your nervous system associates expansion with danger, money will feel unsafe, even if you consciously desire it. So the system will unconsciously create reasons why it doesn't stay. This is why people can be spiritually aligned, intelligent, and hardworking, and still experience financial instability. The block is not in action. It's in permission. Love and expansion follow the same rule. The same ceiling applies to love. Deep intimacy requires presence, vulnerability, and self-trust. But if love threatens your sense of control, independence, or emotional safety, the system will create distance through conflict, withdrawal, or choosing unavailable partners. Expansion always asks one question: can you remain regulated while receiving more? If the answer is no, life slows down, not as punishment, but as protection. The pattern in one sentence. This pattern can be summarized simply. You are not blocked from receiving what you want. You are blocked from becoming who can hold it. And this is the key shift of this entire video. Because once you work with the nervous system, identity, and emotional safety, not just mindset, reality responds quickly and organically. The moment of awareness. Right now, I want you to notice something without judgment. Where in your life do things almost work, but never fully stabilize? Where do you experience almost there, followed by collapse or delay? That is not bad luck. That is the receiving ceiling speaking. And the good news is, ceilings are not walls. They are thresholds. Why this video goes deeper. Most content tells you to think differently, visualize more, or raise your vibration. But unless your system feels safe at the next level, those tools create temporary highs, not transformation. In the next part, I'll guide you through understanding how this pattern is formed and, more importantly, how to dissolve it without force. Because expansion is not about becoming someone else. It's about removing what no longer fits who you already are. What makes this pattern so deceptive is that it often appears right after progress. Just when things begin to move, the nervous system senses unfamiliar territory and pulls you back into the known. This is why many people believe they lose momentum or fall out of alignment, when in truth, they are touching the edge of their current identity. Awareness of this moment is power, because once you see it, you can stop repeating it unconsciously. This is also why comparing yourself to others is so destabilizing. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are simply meeting the exact point where your internal capacity must expand before your external reality can. When you stop making this moment mean something is wrong with you, shame dissolves, and with it, the very mechanism that keeps the ceiling in place. Stay with this video because the next section is not about effort or discipline. It is about felt safety. You'll learn how to work directly with the body, identity, and energy to lower resistance without forcing change. And once this shifts, receiving stops feeling heavy and starts feeling natural, which is when life finally begins to respond in unexpected, supportive ways. Topic 4. Breaking the pattern at the root. Guided reprogramming without force. Up to this point, awareness has been doing the heavy lifting. But awareness alone is not enough to dissolve deep patterns. Insight shows you what is happening. Reprogramming changes how your system responds. And this is where most people get stuck. They try to force change at the level of the mind, while the block lives in the body and nervous system. Real transformation does not come from pushing yourself to be better. It comes from making expansion feel safe. The goal of this process is not to eliminate fear, resistance, or doubt. The goal is to remove their authority over your decisions and energy. Why force creates more resistance? When you force yourself to act, think, or feel differently, your system interprets it as danger. Force sends the message, "Something is wrong with me." And that message reinforces the very pattern you're trying to dissolve. This is why people experience temporary breakthroughs followed by collapse. The change was not integrated, it was imposed. Integration happens when the body feels included in the process. When your nervous system feels regulated, your mind follows. When your identity feels stable, action becomes natural. The core shift from control to regulation. This guided process works on 3 levels at once. Attention, where your awareness rests. Sensation, how your body experiences expansion. Identity, who you believe you are allowed to be. Instead of asking, "How do I get rid of this?" you ask, "What does my system need to feel safe receiving more?" This question alone begins to dissolve resistance. Guided inner exercise. Experiential segment. Take a moment right now, and if you can, soften your body. Let your shoulders drop. Slow your breath slightly. No performance. No fixing. Now, bring to mind one area where you feel almost there. Money, love, clarity, confidence, or peace. Notice what happens in your body. Do you feel tightness, pressure, numbness, restlessness? Don't analyze it. Just observe. Now gently say, internally, "I don't need to push. I'm allowed to receive at a pace my system can hold." Let that sentence land. This is not affirmation, it's permission. Installing safety instead of pressure. Safety is the missing link in manifestation. When your system feels safe, decisions feel clean, intuition sharpens action, feels grounded, outcomes stabilize. You stop oscillating between highs and lows. You stop chasing and collapsing. And this is when reality begins to reorganize without effort. Not because you tried harder, but because you stopped resisting yourself. Why this works faster than mindset. Mindset works at the surface. Regulation works at the root. When the root shifts, results follow naturally. This is why people experience tangible changes, unexpected opportunities, financial openings, emotional relief, shortly after this kind of work. Not because the world changed, but because you stopped sending conflicting signals. And this prepares you for the final phase of this process. Because now that the block is loosened, the next step is learning how to live from this new internal position consistently, without falling back into old patterns. What makes this process so effective is that it removes the inner war. You are no longer fighting yourself, trying to fix what feels broken. Instead, you're creating internal cooperation. And cooperation is where real power lives. When the mind and body stop pulling in opposite directions, your energy becomes coherent. And coherence is what the universe responds to first. Many people notice subtle but undeniable shifts after this work. A calmer emotional baseline, clearer thoughts, fewer impulsive reactions, and a surprising sense of trust in their own timing. These are not coincidences. They are signs that resistance is dissolving at the root. And when resistance dissolves, Manifestation stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like flow. Stay with this video, because what comes next is about making this shift last. Without integration, even the deepest realizations fade. The next section will show you how to stabilize this new internal state over the next 7 days, so that what you open here today doesn't collapse back into old patterns, but becomes your new normal. Topic 5. The 7-Day Integration. How to stabilize change and create momentum. Awareness opens the door. Regulation loosens the block. But integration is what turns a moment of clarity into a new way of living. Without integration, even powerful shifts fade. Old habits return. The nervous system defaults to what is familiar. That's why this final phase is essential. Not to add effort, but to anchor change into your daily experience so it becomes stable, embodied, and real. This is not a 7-day challenge designed to push you. It's a 7-day recalibration designed to support you. Day 1. Choose one area of leadership. For the next 7 days, choose one single area where you will practice inner responsibility consciously. Not everything, just one. Money, communication, boundaries, self-trust, visibility. Each morning, ask yourself, where can I lead myself today instead of reacting? Leadership here means presence, not perfection. Day 2. Interrupt the old pattern gently. On day 2, you'll notice the old pattern trying to return. Hesitation, delay, overthinking, emotional withdrawal. When it does, don't fight it. Interrupt it with awareness. Say internally, "This is familiar, not true." This phrase weakens the emotional charge without creating resistance. Day 3. One aligned action. Take one small action that aligns with the version of you who can receive more. Not dramatic, not risky, just honest. Send the message. Make the decision. Say no where you usually say yes. Say yes where you usually hesitate. This trains your nervous system to associate action with safety. Day 4. Gratitude for regulation, not results. On day 4, shift gratitude away from outcomes. Instead of thanking life for what happened, thank yourself for staying present, choosing differently, regulating instead of reacting. This reinforces internal authority, which is the foundation of lasting abundance. Day 5. Reduce mental noise. On day 5, reduce input. Less scrolling, less comparison, less external advice. Silence strengthens integration. Your system needs space to stabilize. Day 6. Observe synchronicities. By now, many people begin noticing subtle shifts. Better timing, lighter interactions, unexpected openings. Don't chase them. Just observe. Recognition strengthens coherence. Day 7. Identity anchoring. On the final day, ask yourself, who am I becoming when I stop negotiating with fear? Write one sentence. That sentence becomes your new internal reference point. The real outcome. The real outcome of these 7 days is not perfection. It's self-trust. And self-trust changes everything. How you decide, how you receive, how life responds. This is where momentum replaces force. Final invitation. If something shifted for you during this video, even subtly, acknowledge it. And if you're ready to anchor this work deeper, leave a comment with the words, "I choose inner power." Because the moment you name a choice, it becomes real. What truly stabilizes change is repetition without pressure. When you stop trying to become someone else and instead practice staying with yourself consistently, your identity reorganizes naturally. Over these 7 days, you are not proving anything. You are teaching your system that expansion is safe, grounded, and sustainable. This is how temporary breakthroughs turn into a new baseline. As this new internal posture settles, life begins to respond in subtle but undeniable ways. You may notice calmer decisions, clearer boundaries, unexpected opportunities, or a quiet confidence that wasn't there before. These are not accidents. They are reflections of internal coherence. When your inner world becomes stable, the outer world adjusts to match it. If you've made it this far, it means something in you was ready to shift. Don't dismiss that. Let it matter. And if you want to anchor this moment, leave a comment sharing what you are choosing to release and what you are choosing to embody instead. Naming it completes the cycle, and this is often the moment where the universe begins to respond. Here's a clear, powerful 5-paragraph conclusion, designed to recap the transformation, activate comments, and strengthen channel authority and retention. Today, you saw that what blocks your life is not a lack of effort, belief, or worth. It's unconscious patterns that delay your power. You learned how excuses operate beneath awareness, why inner responsibility is not guilt but authority, how receiving has an internal ceiling, and how safety, not force, is the key to real expansion. This shift alone changes how you relate to money, love, decisions, and yourself. Now, I want to ask you something important, and answer it honestly. Where in your life are you choosing comfort over alignment? And what is one excuse you are ready to release today? Write it in the comments. Naming it is a powerful act of responsibility, and it anchors everything you've just understood. If this video helped you see yourself more clearly, support this work by subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. This ensures you don't miss future videos designed to help you reprogram your energy, strengthen self-trust, and create lasting change without pressure or force. To deepen this process, I strongly recommend watching the previous video linked here. It explores how identity, nervous system regulation, and self-permission shape your reality, and it will help you integrate today's insights even more deeply. Remember, you are not here to push, prove, or struggle. You are here to lead yourself. And when you do, life responds. Stay present, stay aligned, and I'll see you in the next video.